our School at Home class in English Grade 7. We are in the third quarter of our set of lessons. And I hope everybody will delight in learning today with lesson number 11, which is using noun and verb phrases. After going through this lesson, you are expected to: number 1, distinguish noun and verb phrases. Number 2, use noun phrase and verb phrase appropriately and meaningfully. For the start, do the following exercises. You can pause this video if you need more time. Press play again when you're finished with the activity and when you're ready to proceed with the lesson. Directions. Tell whether the underlined phrase is noun phrase or verb phrase. On the space before the number, write NP for noun phrase and VP for verb phrase. Number 1. The great scientists all over the world are studying and discovering the vaccines for COVID-19. Number 2. They offer a prayer for the frontliners, including the doctors, nurses, paramedics, pathologists, hospital support, attendants, and police. Number 3. Different sectors from the government are giving donations and relief goods to the charity. Number 4. Kilua would have gone for a walk to explore the surroundings like what others did. And number 5. In this pandemic, the children below 20 years old should stay in their place of residence. Here are the answers. Number 1. NP, the great scientist, is a noun phrase. Number 2. NP, a prayer for the frontliners, is a noun phrase. Number 3. VP, are giving, is a verb phrase. Number 4. VP, would have gone, is a verb phrase. Number 5. NP, place of residence, is a noun phrase. Did you get it all correct? What is your score? For a recap, words make up a phrase, and when the phrases are combined to make a complete thought, sentences are formed. By definition, a phrase is any group of words often carrying a special idiomatic meaning. In this sense, it is synonymous with expression. Phrases act as a part of speech but cannot stand alone as a sentence. The words in the phrase act together so that the phrase itself functions as a single part of speech. The coronavirus pandemic, or COVID-19, is now affecting all of us, disrupting people's lives and creating fear, anxiety, sorrow, and hardship. That's why we need a positive mind that will give us hope. Now, let us read and reflect on this Bible verse, taken from the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. Questions. What does the verse want to give us, especially during these trying times? Correct. This verse gives us comfort and peace, and we should not be afraid because God is always there to protect us. Number 2. What do the following underlined words express? I'm with you, will strengthen, will hold, my victorious right hand. The following words are examples of phrase. Any group of meaningful words that don't make complete sense is a phrase. A phrase has different functions such as noun, verb, adverb, adjective, or preposition in a sentence. This function of a phrase depends on its construction. Today, let's talk about using noun and verb phrases. For noun phrase consists of a noun and other related words, usually modifiers and determiners, which modify the noun that comes after or before the noun. A noun phrase has two parts: a noun and any modifiers connected to the noun, or most often, these modifiers will be adjectives, adverbs, articles, and prepositional phrases. The modifiers may also be determiners. Noun phrase form is this: noun plus modifiers, or the modifiers can be after or before noun. It has many functions in the sentence. The first one is noun phrase as a subject of a sentence. Example: very few giant pandas remain in the wild forest. This sentence is clearly about a small number of wild pandas, and so very few giant pandas is the subject of the sentence. The second one is a noun phrase as a complement. A complement restates or gives more information about a noun. It always follows a state of being verb, which is, are, am, will be, was, and were. Example: a sailor's best friend is a wide open sea. The noun phrase is wide open sea gives us more information about the sailor's best friend, the sea. Therefore, it acts as a complement to the noun phrase best friend. Let's have another one. The noun phrase as a direct object. A direct object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action of a verb. Example: Grandma cooked a meal for 10 people even though there were only 4 of us. The verb in this sentence is cooked, and the object that is being cooked is a meal. The rest of the phrase for 10 people creates a noun, or noun phrase that acts as a direct object. The next one is a noun phrase as an indirect object. An indirect object indicates to whom or for whom the action of the verb is performed. It comes before the direct object. Example: Trudy gave her hungry, crying baby a bottle. The noun phrase answers the question, who did Trudy give the bottle to? The phrase her hungry, crying baby is an indirect object because it indicates to whom or for whom the action of the verb. Now let's try a few items as practice exercise. Do the thumbs up if you think that the underlined words are noun phrase, and do the thumbs down if it does not. Here's the first one. The girl at the back helps the old lady in crossing the street. If you think that the underlined words are example of noun phrase, then you're right. Good job. This sentence talks about the girl, and this is the subject of the sentence. Next, God is our protector and provider. If your answer is yes, then you're right again. Great! The noun phrase, our protector and provider, gives us more information about the subject, which is God. It is used as complement. What about the next one? The students made a personalized card. Exactly. This is an example of a noun phrase. A A personalized card is used as a direct object receives the action of the verb made. Now, let's talk about another type of phrases, and that is a verb phrase. Verbs are words that demonstrate an action like sing, dance, smell, talked, and eat. They serve as a link between the subject of the verb and information about that subject. The information is usually descriptive. A verb phrase can also be defined as part of a clause or sentence comprising a verb and at the same time describes more information about the subject. It can also be described as a phrase that acts as an adverb or adjective and comprises a verb and its complements, which may be either modifiers or objects. Now we have different functions of a verb phrase. The first one is as a predicate of the sentence. In this case, the verb phrase consists of main verb plus any auxiliary or helping verbs. Some common helping verbs are verb to be, am, is, are, was, were, be, being, and been. Verb to have, has, have, and had. Verb to do, does, and did. Others are may, might, must, can, could, shall, should, will, and would. Examples: Jonah and Elsa must collect donations for the charity. Rescuers will help those in need. Now we also have as an adverb or adjective. Verb phrases with single function can either act as an adverb or an adjective. The phrase would comprise of verb modifiers, complements, or even objects. This is illustrated in the following examples. At last, we can afford to buy a brand new car. It functions as an adverb. To send money, you need some credit in your account. It functions as an adjective. Now let's do this together. Once again, do the thumbs up if you think the underlined word or verb phrase. Do the thumbs down if it does not. Are you ready? Let's go. First one. In this pandemic, we should share something hopeful and positive videos in our Facebook account. If you put your thumbs up, you're awesome. The underlined words are example of verb phrase. Should share is the verb phrase. Should is helping verb. And share is the main verb. What about the next one? Everyone is staying at home during this pandemic. What is your answer? If your answer is yes, then you are correct again. Great job! The verb is staying is an example of verb phrase. A verb phrase with is and y plus ing is the present progressive form. How about the last one? The doctors and nurses have been working hard. If your answer is correct or yes, then you're right. Very good. Have been working is a verb phrase. A verb phrase with have been and the ing form is in present perfect progressive form. During this pandemic, what is the first thing that we should do? Try to figure out the common word based on the word length and photos in a grid, which are provided for you in the 4 pics in one word. What is your idea? Very good. It is Bible and pray to God. From the lessons that we have discussed today, use the Venn diagram to show the similarities and differences between noun phrase, and verb phrase. Now let's proceed to our post-test. Directions. Identify whether the underlined phrase is a noun phrase or verb phrase. On the space before the number, write NP for noun phrase and write VP for verb phrase. Number 1. The quarantine period in Metro Manila has started since March 2020. Number 2. All talented mothers share their expertise in baking cakes to their children. Number 3. Footnote to Youth is my favorite short story in Philippine literature. Number 4. Medical frontliners have been heroes amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. And number 5. Our donations will help us to reach out to frontliners. Here are the answers. Number 1. VP. Has started is a verb phrase. Number 2. NP. All talented mothers is a noun phrase. Number 3. NP. My favorite short story is a noun phrase. Number 4. NP. Medical frontliners is a noun phrase. And number 5. VP. Will help is a verb phrase. Did you get it all correct? What is your score? After viewing and listening to this video lesson, do not forget to do these exercises as your homeschool work for today. Worksheet number 11, English 7, 3rd quarter. Goodbye and see you in the next lesson.